Hi everybody, and welcome to video 7 in my Cosy Christmas series. Now this is part of a collaboration, and first let me say this is the flip through video of our first project of 2, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the kit, give you the names of the collaborators, and then set you off and give you a couple of places to look to start out with. And then we're going to go right into the flip through. Okay, so a little bit about the kits. The kit is a collaboration between LineDotArrow and Nonstop Papercrafts, and you can get half of the kit at LineDotArrow's Etsy shop and the other half at the Nonstop Papercrafts website, or Etsy shop, excuse me. It is a website, but you know what I mean. So there's 20 pages in Natalie's half. There's 20 pages in Suzanne's half. Then there's also an add-on kit that you can get at each one's Etsy shop, and that's another 20 pages each. So that gives you a total of 80 pages to play with, and that's great. There's also freebies and stuff, and I'm not going to go into that because that would make this flip through really long. But suffice it to say that the collaboration is between these two creators, wonderful creators, and then 4 other Facebook groups who are promoting the kits, but also having their own drawings and giving away their own freebies for the kit too. So the other Facebook groups are Haystack's Crafty Corner, Two Sisters Jam, Sweet Pea Papers, that you might sound familiar, and Junk Journal Tutorials, and more. Now, at these groups, you'll be able to get additional freebies. There are drawings, and each drawing has 3 prizes, so it's a total of 18 prizes, and you should get in on that and so that you can win. Now, here's a couple places for you to start. You can start with Natalie's video on the 26th that has a flip through of her half of the kit, and also the I believe the first challenge. There's a challenge a week for 3 weeks, and then the 4th week you get to just kind of catch up and do whatever project you want or the challenges. And so hers will be at the LineDotArrow YouTube channel on the 26th. Also on the 26th is a Nonstop Papercraft Suzanne's video with a flip through of her half of the kit, and then also her interpretation of the challenge. So you've got 2 different versions of the challenge to take a look at. Then you can also go to my channel, YouTube channel, which is where you're at now. But go back to the 26th, and I have released a Sweet Pea Papers / Junk Journal Tutorials and More December update video, and you can watch that, and that explains the contest part of everything and the freebies and such. But I do not do a flip through of the kits. But it also gives you an update on what's going on in the Sweet Pea Papers Facebook group, and also the Junk Journal Tutorials and More Facebook group, since I have both of those are my groups. Okay, so that's my quick little super fast talking little intro to how I made this project and what I used for it. So now we have this 18-page manila folder project. I couldn't think of the word manila folder. Go figure. And this was made using both kits and some of the freebies. I printed everything out because I had advanced access to the freebies. And then it just got mixed together. So I can't point to any one thing and tell you what it is. And besides that, I don't want to tell you what freebies I used, because then you might see some ahead of time. Okay, so on the first page, the cover, I used 2 pieces of ephemera from the kit. And I'm just going to say from the kit for everything, just so you know. It's easier for me. I don't remember which ones are which anyway. So I used 2 of the big trees. There's 2 little trees that are just like this. And then I also used a stencil. I have a pine tree stencil that I use. I haven't cleaned it yet. And I also used this stencil as Christmas ornaments hanging from a tree. Then I used this stencil that says Merry Christmas. I know you can't see those. Let me see. So I used these stencils. And I also used this one that said ho ho ho. It says ho 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 with Santa's belt. And I used one more, I believe, which is a poinsettia. Doesn't look like I used this one because it doesn't have ink on it. Then I also used, for my giant snowflake stencil, I used this doily, and I made this doily on my scanning cut, and I'm not going to go into explaining how, but that's how I got this. And I think I used this little one that I made as well. You can see they're well used and well loved by the ink all over them. Okay, I also used some of this stuff, which is pretty cool. And you can get this on Amazon. It's paper, it's not lace. And they use it to wrap the handheld part of a bouquet, usually for a wedding, like for the bride. Okay, so that's that. So we've got our cover and some of the things that we've used to make the cover. And then I've also added this little Santa Claus charm, and I've put it on using a bulb pin. Okay, I added the word Christmas. Then when you go to the first page, this is a manila folder flip waterfall. Now, it's a little different than most waterfalls, and I'll show you why. I made it using manila folders and the center of the folder where the score lines are, so that you can expand the folder. So on here it says, "May Christmas bring you everything that you're wishing for," which I thought this was cute. Then you flip it up, and you'll notice this washi tape here. I have a whole bag of Christmas washi that I got on Temu, Temu.com. And so the washi covers up where the gusseted area is at the center of the manila folder, where it folds in half. And by that I mean this part right here that has the 3 lines on it. So this is basically what I use, like a piece like this, only smaller, that flips up. And then I scored here and glued this part down, making a double flip. Okay. So then I used my Christmas tree stencil, and this is actually a little tuck, or you can use it to write on with a black pen. This one is the same. This has the little Christmas ornament stencil with another little tuck. This one is a different one. And I used my Ho 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 stencil. This is another little tuck. Then on the final one it says Merry Christmas with some writing area down here. And below that is an acetate belly band with a trifold. Now, I didn't print. There's 80 pages plus the freebies, so I did not print on the back of mine because I think red, white, and green are the Christmas colors anyway, so the backs of everything is white. And, oh, look at that. I forgot to stencil. I found there's always one thing. There's always one thing you find that you forgot to do, so I'm going to go back and stencil that. And then there's also this tag with this little paper, so I remember what this project is. I mean, in the future, I obviously remember what it is now. With this little tag. I have some pieces of plastic wrapper in there. Okay, and I'm going to put this back. It's got the date on the back and the name of the collaboration. Then on this page, it's a double pocket. I've got this little piece of ephemera glued on, And it looks like the little sled tag is hanging from the tree branch along with these other ornaments. And this is a piece of ephemera. And this is a piece of that white, this stuff that I showed you. You can dye this as well. All you need to do is use your ink pad and your dauber, and just, because it's paper, and just, you know, color it. It holds this trifold, which is 3 different sizes, and I stenciled on the inside. I got a little carried away with the green ink. And even though you can see this, you can see the stenciling. Okay, and so from this way it opens the same. Okay, then there's also a writing card in here. I'm not going to take the writing cards out. They're in there kind of snug. Then there's a secondary writing card here. There's a thumb hole here, a thumb hole down here. Then there's a card in between, which is right here. And there's a thumb hole here for that. And on the back side, on the next page, which I just moved this card, as you can see, I inked it right here where the thumb hole is so that the white didn't show. And there's, like I said, a thumb hole on this side. This page is just a simple belly band with the writing card. There's Santa with some ephemera on it. The word says gift. On this side is a picture of a Christmas tree and a poinsettia with the word tree. Then you open these two and you get a side pocket with 2 tags. And this is a bottom pocket with lots of little tickets. Oops. In this little tiny pocket. And this is a double corner pocket. I just didn't put anything in this little one yet. There's this envelope with a card inside. And the inside of the envelope matches the paper on the back. This is a tag, actually, that I used. And I'm not really sure how I got so lucky as to find a tag that had the Santa right there that showed through the window. It just happened to work out that way. The window on this one I had to cut out by hand. This is not one of the ones I make out of a piece of paper or an envelope and use my Big Shot and make the hole. Then you turn the page and there's these tiny little pockets with all these cute little tags in them that all have words on them. And I added some ephemera to each one and the word festive. This side over here is a tuck. I added a scrap piece of a tab from one of my manila folders of these when I cut them up. And to make the tuck, it's not glued at the top and the bottom. It's not a pocket. And it has another trifold. Look at that I forgot to do something on the inside of. Wow, my flip through to myself was really bad. So I'll go back and ink the back of that and stencil it. We have our second charm, which is a Christmas tree. Nothing like having everything fly apart, huh? Because I pulled this. I thought this tab was another page, which it kind of is. Okay, so on this side over here, we have another double flip out. And I forgot to put the magnets in when I was doing the paper underneath. So I thought, well, what am I going to do to keep those from flipping besides pulling it all apart by hand when I'm turning the page? And so what I came up with was this little card with Santa on it, and it's got a little piece of Velcro on the back, and the Velcro goes to a little dot here. So the dot in the center here goes to a dot on the bottom page, and so when you hook the Velcro together, then Santa holds these two flaps down. So when you take Santa off, you can open the flaps. This is some washi that I got from my Christmas washi set. You open these two out, and it's a complete page. And you've got some writing space up here. There's pockets right here. And on this side is your naughty and your nice list with a little bit of ephemera. This is page 17. On this page, I cut out a set of tags that were all on one page, and instead of cutting them all out separate, I cut them all out together in such a way that it opens like this. And you've got this writing area, then it opens up like this, and that's where I used this big stencil here, or this one. Reach my arm right across the camera. This one here. I knew I used this one too. Okay? You can write on the whole thing. You can write here, and then here's your decorative part. And then we got the back cover, and I stenciled this on the back. I used brown, green, and red. And it says Merry Christmas. And so that's it for the flip through. And we're going to have a second project with this kit because it's really large. And I hope you stay tuned for that series. And that will start right after this on tomorrow. And so I hope you have a great holiday. If you don't watch the rest of it, please do though. And thank you for following me in this series. And I'll see you in the next series. That'll be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay. Thanks. Bye-bye.